they say, you know what, screw it, right? Let's just head to map number 2, reset, and that's just all. It's basically a best of 2 now. You win both games, doesn't really matter. It's opponent's map pick, no pressure at all. Captain, just have fun, enjoy the game. That is, as it should be as well, right? Players, they are players, but of course you want to enjoy the match as well. Often it helps you play better even.
That's right, and speaking of which, we've already got the left round going in favor of I believe. And speaking of which, we do see some really good opening shot coming out of the side of perhaps a little bit well, hopefully it won't be. I guess it was the name that was a little bit switched up, so here we go. Early on, we did see our first round, so this time, I believe that there should be a solid first chance. A little bit more some pattern with the first to well something, but it really depends on people around. So let's see how they fare as they take on the CT side to start off with.
Things kind of went wrong, I'd say, right? Just 5 and CT and just 2 players on side taking both A and B, and they named like 2 kids. That's perhaps missed by the cameraman and a B rush coming in from Firecrest, taking this job on the T's towards A. Then all the duels they would want. Tech 9 leading to charge in, so Tuna finds 1 player's handler as well. Now it's gonna be side taken already, pushing in. And even 4 players there, swinging straw, and they're not going to have any say in the round. Cademy of map number 1, going out of the water, but you can't stop panicking yet, right? Just because things happen. The B rush, Firecrest, a show of confidence for the Cademy, but on the spawn, an immediate force spike back. Max 7 on the side of Nader, a couple of deagles, so if they do pop a couple of heads, that's where they could have the opportunity to enter the round. But if you lose a close game, you do let almost had it.
That's right, and Firecrest, your decision making is clear cut. You know, like you saw what happened in the pistol rounds right here, and with that, I just felt that Catman Esports wasn't exactly ready to hold the line, especially coming into the market yet again. Going on towards B, as we see Necro will be able to find Yaren, and now pretty much a simple takedown. And Katsuna got the both of them for some reason, and I thought that he would have gone down, which we do see some really good opening shot there, basically on the other side of the alley. Well, he just flicks it off. I guess it was the player name down. Catman Esports once again start off from a deficit.
Yeah, this is when I start fearing just a little bit, right? If we saw on the CT side or on Vertigo earlier, Firecrest, they're willing to take so much space, right? Now they're on the T side, they get to dictate the pace of the game. Catman, they have to play based on how the opponents want to play. So if Firecrest keep on coming out guns blazing, which is exactly what they're doing at the moment, this fast-paced race, then it could get so undoable for the side of Catman. It's impossible to hold off without the right piece of utility. Players in towards bench, and Straw gets they get absolutely destroyed by Necro, just making his way up short, uncontested at all, and Firecrest again exploiting his like time after time. 1 versus 3. Doable considering how low the players are, but considering the map control that they've given up. Very second, unless fast a second, not going to be the case. Demand again will close things out. 3-0, fast start from Firecrest, and look, they look unrelenting at the moment. Contra, I'm a little bit afraid, but I do still have a bit of hope for Catman.
I do believe there's still a glimmer of hope at the very least. We saw how Sepao was taken, handled the situation in a calm manner at the very least, and members after members from side of Firecrest just rushed right in to chase after the final kill. And now Catman Esports just needing to hopefully get some really good picks this time around on towards A, and you can already hear all the footsteps coming on towards A. And with that, they have already spotted them out, and Catman Esports loses 2. They did have 1 pick on towards Tuna, and Demine instantly gets a headshot on towards Straw. And with that, the clock ticks on the bomb. Well, I'm not even certain how exactly to pull this one off, as the main gets another one as he comes across. But that itself is pretty much self-explanatory. Necro with the final call. Take them down.
Yeah, the M4A1S without the silencer, that's a little bit of a BM move right there from Firecrest. And again, just a sign of confidence. Necro just up towards Ticket, just openly standing and just saying, you know, I don't even need the silencer, just come and get me. But Firecrest still end around with all 5 players alive. They're not stopping with this pace. Maybe a bit more of a default round coming out now because play into Palace, play into Commons, 3 out towards middle, a very standard 1-3-1 play. Do they opt to accelerate once again towards Sean? Maybe it's a faster round, but the bomb's still in spawn. So interesting to see. 3 players up towards Sean. Maybe they're just taking all the duels they want. And again, as they open up this B side, and it's gone again, just like that. 20 seconds into the round, and it's over for Catman.
Wow, just look at Tuna go as you do have Necro pushing outwards. Oh man, this is a little bit too painful to watch at this point in time. Now, just looking at the economy, I guess they could still go in for some sort of buy. We do see Howard here getting himself an AUG. Wolfamas available as well, so
yeah, but
I don't know, man. Like they have to at least get this one in the back, or else Firecrest is just gonna keep running at him.
yeah, and the fact is as well, the fact that Catman, they're constantly buying in with weaponry but no utility, right? Means that Firecrest, they're allowed to just keep on running, right? There's no utility to stop it down at all. This is where they can get all the isolated duels they want onto the sides and just trade their way effectively, knowing that as a CT, you have to kind of split your forces across the map, right? Demand on the late lug in towards Underpass will collect the head of Neher in the connector, and last player in towards Nest. Not going to have much of a say in the round. Utility, the Bane for Catman at the moment, the fact that they're consistently trying to get rounds on the board just by getting in with a bit of weaponry means that, again, you can't stop the rushes from Firecrest. And if you have an incendiary or two, right, you can just molly off short, you can molly into a main, which means Firecrest, if they do want to rush, they still have to, you know, wait a little bit. And that a couple of seconds could be the difference, right, between winning and losing a round, especially in Counter-Strike. Fine differences matter a lot, but yeah, small mistakes, not really small mistakes, rather huge mistakes, and
quite
Firecrest
a huge mistake.
punish. Ooh.
Oh boy, here we go. Think of incendiaries. It comes from the T side instead. Necro gets one. He might just be able to find two as well, as he would be able to find Howard. Now, coming from the other end, we do see a little bit of stun coming out, and through the smokes, he'll be able to just make his way on towards the side. Now, Nair finds Hamas, but instantly gets straight back by the main as well. Absolutely agree with you when it comes down to the utility play. It didn't look all too clean, but this time around, it's only going to be Straw left. And I'm not certain. A 3 versus 1. Yet, he's just going to be looking for... Oh, man. I'm not even going to finish my sentence right there, because that is a statement.
Yeah, just 3-on-1 just walking out, and you can see the M249 purchased up for Saucing Shooter as well. Firecrest, they know they've got Catman in a world of hurt. And yeah, just taking all the duels. But you have to say as well, Firecrest, right, despite them, you know, just playing quite perky at the moment, every time Catman get a kill, they go trade it, right? Firecrest, they have a second player there for the trade. So despite you trying to speed things up, there's good fundamentals being shown out from this T side. Alright, with possibly the first opener on this Mirage game for Catman Esports. And Firecrest, what do they opt to do the back of it? They opt to pick up the M249 and Necro leading the troops in, player into the shot will peak. But has to fall back straight in. Ooh, 5-on-3. 5-on-2 now. Catman. Just like that.
Okay, this is definitely looking a lot better as we are going to the quarter-side round. Now, this is going to be hurting him quite a number, and Nair has been able to find that headshot, taking down Hamas. Now he understands it's going to be one more member out here, and finally, Captain Esports finds their first point. Now, with this, yep, they get a lot more money to get every single utility that we were complaining about much early on. So, I believe this will be a lot more easier to deal with the likes of Firecrest that will be pushing in, whether it's A or even the B side, which we see the tendency for Firecrest to push into its B has been very much likely.
Yeah, no, They're going back into its A, and look, the incendiary stops the player out from getting A main, and this is exactly what we're talking about. And now a small fake being thrown in towards middle to keep the CT's interested to a step out of the map. Meanwhile, the A prong of the deck comes out. Hamis deletes the pass taken into a CT spawn, and that's the A side taken. The second third player, and Stairs falls as well. Hamis, a big round coming out from player Firecrest. And again, it's go.
Man, this guy knows no time to even pause around the corners. And Hamis, he just went in to tear them apart with that triple. And I thought that Cadman Esports could have lasted a little bit longer. But, man, who could have possibly hold Hamis back from the start? And right now, they're going to be bringing the op as well. So Howard hopefully getting a pickoff. It's going to be a double op as well. So we'll see. With this already set up, perhaps they should be having a little bit more firepower to deal against Firecrest.
Yeah, two ops, as Riley mentioned, right, means they can try and pick off players, the first players entering, but if Hamis gets another shot like we saw earlier on, then it's going to be fun. Oh, boost up! They know there's a second player there now, but one has fallen, and yeah, just like that, they're able to pick apart the crossfire. So Catman, despite getting the opener, aren't able to convert, with the fact that all players were just out of position, and Necro lurking up in towards the connector, and Firecrest, they have both A and B. They're just, you know, swarming Catman. A bunch of sharks, and yeah, what do you do? What do you do, Contra? There's really nothing they can do.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do anything at all when you're the final member of the up and you're just pretty much sitting by the alleyways. And you can see he was panicking as well. He's just hopping up the air like, okay, you know, this is pretty much a done deal. So Firecrest now 9-1, as we see much of the setup coming from Firecrest, making sure that deny a little bit more vision. Now the main goes in to be the entry frag, and he pummels down Howard, breaking down those walls as well.
What?
Flicks it through and finds Yaren. This guy is insane. And now here comes the plan coming from Selassie Tuna. These two final members. Wow. Drummond has been able to actually spot out the main. And, well, still having a little bit more room to play with, but quickly done by Tuna.
Well,
I got no words. I got no words, man. Do you?
Are we allowed to at this point?
Well, I believe it's part of our job anyways. And so, going back to where we were, you know, Catman Esports, initially they got themselves that double op buy, and they lost that round, and they lost yet another quick one towards the side of Firecrest. And it's all down to that previous game's MVP, the main. Just look at how stacked he is. Like, he's got 11k to work with, and they don't really have to worry about weaponizing. They could easily just drop one towards Necro as well. We are going on a short pause at the moment, as I believe that this is going to be a tactical one as Catman Esports. They need to just find the answers to just hold out the rest of Firecrest at the very least. So they've only got one pointer back in Inferno, and this time around, a little bit of a glimpse of the past is haunting them.
Yeah, Firecrest. I'm pretty sure during this time they're not really discussing what they're gonna do as well, right? It's mainly because I think Necro lagged out and unfortunately disconnected from the server, but now he's back in, so we'll be getting things back underway. But you know, this time almost just allows Catman to just simmer and just take a look at the score, and perhaps more importantly, take a look at how the rounds have been, right? It's the rounds, dare I say, haven't really been too close either for Catman. Right, they've had a couple of rounds and one or two close ones, but more often than not, it's Firecrest, you know, kind of playing a bit looser as opposed to Catman actually, you know, taking the initiative, taking the heads-up duels, and winning them, putting Firecrest under pressure, right? Firecrest, you've got all good things boding for you at the moment, and suddenly a good way to warm up as well. You can see in some rounds when they hit A, it's almost like playing deathmatch, right? You preempt the angle, you just get the headshot, you move on to the next target. If someone's behind you, just flick onto the head. It's not supposed to look that easy, but Firecrest, make it look pretty simple. Yaren though opens things up, so off the back of timeout, immediate pace change for Firecrest. A little bit slower this time around.
Yeah, I gotta say that this has allowed Captain Esports to get that kill on towards Suna, and especially Yaren here has been stepping up to the plate for the past couple of rounds. Yes, we did see them without quite a number of points, but all the trades are looking good for Straw. But the main, and again, from above, goes into pummel down there as well as Straw. Now, still going to be a 3-versus trade. Necro misses the shot. Looking for another one as he will be eventually landing towards Howard.
And 2 and 3, they're not making any secret of the entrance, but Forsaken finds the opener on the retake, but Firecrest, both players swinging to get the trades immediately. This is, as we talked about before, sign of solid fundamentals coming up from Firecrest, right? Your teammate takes the first contact, takes the first duel, doesn't matter if he wins or loses it, right? The second and third players, knowing that you've got a man advantage, can just swing, right? Your opponents, they're gonna be so fixated onto the guy to its bench that, you know, when your teammates swing out from the other side, it's gonna be a pretty easy picking for both the last 2 remaining players on the side of Firecrest. And yeah, Catman again, 10 rounds deficit against their opponents. They do get a little bit of utility, but it's been all expended already. This is how punishing can be. Necro opens things up towards Palace. Another player though, in towards underneath the balcony. No, it's gonna be above the balcony, but gets his head shredded away from him nonetheless. And yeah, boy. Firecrest, they're just enjoying themselves now. A little bit of Team TK as well. But yeah, nothing too much to write home about.
Man, I'm not sure. That's a little bit of signs of BMing coming along the way. And just toss the kitchen sink if they may. As Hammond now going for the hunt. He does get the pick. And on the corners, he does get yet one flick across and straight towards Yaren's head. Now down towards Nair, and I believe that he might look for a save if he may, because they don't exactly have all too much gold to actually work with. So that will be pretty much the force that they need to take down there. So 12-1. As we look towards the utility, yep, it's going to be very, very low usage on the side of Catman Esports, as they are only bringing in a little bit of the MAC-10s to the picture.
3 ops on this T side. I'm excited but scared at the same time. I don't want Catman to look at this result and kind of think that, oh, I mean, yes, they did get absolutely blown on the water. Mid push coming in. Let's hold it off for a second, because 2 openers for Catman, a 5-on-3 now, a 4-on-3 as Hammis gets the trade onto Yaren. But they found a bomb. Oh, this could be interesting. Do they opt to continue pushing? They do, making no secret of their presence, and Firecrest have to go back for bomb retrieval. Well, it's a pretty difficult one at that, because all 4 players on the side of Catman, they're in towards T-spawn. Howard with the Max 7 needs to let it sink, but no teammate taking first contact for him, and just taking apart the crossfires. Firecrest, oh, it looked good for just a second for Catman, but once again, Firecrest taking the game by the scruff of its neck and just turning it in their favor. And the 3 ops didn't have to do much work, right? In the end, it was just Hammis there to sweep up the kills.
Yeah, that's how much confidence they do have on their team member. And you mentioned that he has been around in the scene for quite some time, and his experience is definitely showing so far. Even if they do lose an op or two, it's nothing that Hammis can afford anyway. So here comes, Seppo was taken. And landing a beautiful one on that AUG. Now he goes in for another spray. He gets his second. But unfortunately, Necro will be able to stop him on his track with a short-range op shot. And Hammis is checking every corner as he can, as they are going to be approaching on towards A through the palace as well. Now, one member inside of B has to start getting going because this ain't gonna be all too easy if they were to approach this with only two members from South Catman Esports.
Yeah, I mean, just a short moment. If Firecrest by Inverse Connector, Necro will equalize things out. It's a 3-on-3 now, but I just saw smoke from Palace by Handler in towards the jungle cross. I've never seen that smoke before, I have to say. Very innovative on the side of Firecrest. 3-on-3, they take the pause, waiting for the opponents to make the mistakes. They can hear the rotation in spot, right? You can see two players in jungle. They hear this loud and clear, which is why Hamis gets the kill. They know there's a second player in there, and now Handler with the trade. Catman, they need Neha to dig them out of the hole that they've dug for themselves. Now 1v2 with the AWP, very difficult task considering that he doesn't have a kit either.
Yeah, and I don't know where he's gonna be digging on to Kit, and well, he just have to take out these two members that's holding on the op. So a little bit of a fun boost just to hopefully get into the top of the break. And speaking of which, I believe that this will be an attempt.
Oh, they're going for one.
He can actually pull one off. And speaking of which, like I said, perhaps that 180 might not be happening, but it will still be Firecrest Sure that leads the pack here in the first half.
Repeat of the scoreline that we saw back on Vertigo, right? But this time Firecrest showing that they can do it on the T side as well. Of course, two different maps, but hey, if you got 14 rounds and a half, you don't even need the second half to to really prove your credentials, right? Catman, they can just close things out, just hide it out on the CT side. Now maybe Catman, you want to try something fast, just go in as a group and pray that you get the trades, and that's when you can win out the round. But Firecrest with a B stack coming out on this pistol, and guess what? Catman, they're heading into its B. 3 players waiting and willing to receive them on the side. Flashes coming in. Players not really blinded by the flashes, and Demand pops the head of one off. Gets blinded. 2 more players though. They're out on side. They've made it to Van, but now they need to find the kills. Player enters Terry. Yeren, mid-air, finds the kill. A player boosted up on side. Do they spot him? Oh. No, they don't. And that's the undoing of the round because Firecrest. Oh, don't even let Catman get the plant.
Man, that mid-air shot was magnificent, and we're looking at, what, a very early SSG, is that right? Well, I'm just seeing Firecrest looking to close this one up, and of course, put a stop to this entirety of the stomp that we're looking at. So Handler goes in to pick off Yeren, and Catman just doing whatever they can. And speaking of which, oh, it's a double coming from Hamis. And 2 versus 3 now, or 4, I mean, see. Ah, boy, this is possibly the end. Coming pretty nigh, as there goes in to still get the kill on towards Necro. He has to clutch this one out. Hamis as well as the main. He's pretty much down low. A few slither of health left, and make that 1 HP in the dream as we mentioned it. His name is just putting it out, and this will be Firecrest having a perfect 2-0 victory by the very end of our first round of 16s.
Yeah, very easy, all things considered. 16-1 on Vertigo and on Mirage. So Firecrest looking good, looking warmed up, but of course, tougher opposition lie ahead. But yes, that you do still have a couple of round of 16 games going on, and it will be interesting to see where Firecrest take themselves, whether or not they can go all the way. But right now, they're looking bang on for the money, right? Because now they're already in the quarter, so 1 more win and